Purdue dropped its opener last Saturday, a heartbreaker 39-35 to the Fresno State Bulldogs. The Boilermakers will try to even their record this week, going to the road for the first time, taking on the Virginia Tech Hokies at Lane Stadium in Blacksburg, Virginia. Kickoff on Saturday will be noon, and our pregame show will begin at 11 a.m. Good evening, everybody, from Walk-Ons in West Lafayette. It is the Ryan Walters Show. We'll be talking with the Boilermaker head coach over the next hour. We also have Deion Burks, who had 4 catches, including 2 touchdown catches in the game on Saturday, and Isaiah Nichols, who led the defensive lineman with 5 tackles in the game as well. You can follow along tonight on Facebook on the Purdue Athletics site. Let us know where you're watching from and if you have a question for the coach, and or also on the Purdue football Twitter site as well. We will have the head coach when we come back. It is the Ryan Walters Show, presented by the Rohrman Auromorive Group on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
Sheffield in motion. Card time. Over the middle. Caught. Deion Burks. He can fly. Burks keeps his feet. Burks has speed. He is gone. Touchdown. Purdue. 84 yards. From his head coach, he said he's an action figure. He's a freak. Popped off once, twice. The fastest guy on the team. No chance. 84 yards. And the Boilermakers strike first. Keene hit and Sept back at the 5-yard line. On second down, Card time. End zone caught. Touchdown. It's Burks once again. That will get the ball first to begin the second half. Sheffield. This is Tracy, beg your pardon. Tracy. He tightropes that sideline. Tyrone Tracy Jr. 5, end zone. Touchdown Purdue. No flags.
In the slot, on the hash, down to the bottom of your screen.
King floats it, looking for Delano, dangerously thrown, and that is picked off by Thieneman.
As the defender was out of bounds. Fourth down.
2 timeouts left, down 4. Card taking a shot downfield, and that is caught in stride by Burks. Can't get a first down at the 1. It's Maccabee. Cuts. Scores. Touchdown Purdue. Sheffield in motion. Card time over the middle.
Walk-Ons in the Purdue Memorial Union, where it's always game day with a taste of Louisiana. The 2023 Purdue football season is presented by Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. Earn a degree you're proud of and employers respect. Start your comeback today at purdueglobal.edu. And, Coach, it's time for a comeback in Week 2.
Absolutely.
Tough loss on opening day against Fresno State, but there was a lot to be positive about. Let's talk first about the environment. I thought it was a great day, weather-wise for football, a little warm. The stadium looked great, and I thought the fans really showed up in force.
Yeah, absolutely they did. So obviously, disappointed that we couldn't walk out of there with the W. But it just goes to show what kind of community we have, what kind of support we have, and we got to make sure that we're putting a good product on the field so they keep coming.
Well, the day started off pretty well. Your mom came out and sang the national anthem. I think it's safe to say that she got the crowd pretty fired up. Have you had to field requests this week? Are you going to serve as her agent going forward in these singing gigs?
No, I was proud of her. Happy for her in that moment, and. I obviously wasn't out there, but I got to see some videos of it and was happy to provide a platform for her to mark off one of her bucket list agendas. So I'm glad she performed well and definitely made for a great environment.
Was the Walters family a singing family growing up? I mean, was that something you all did a lot?
No, just mom.
Just mom.
If you told my dad or my brother to sing, we would not sound like her. So
understood. You got off to a great start. You forced a punt, and then on your third play from scrimmage, Deion Burks made a terrific play, not only showing his speed, but also bouncing off a couple of tackles, and that really got the crowd energized.
Yeah, no doubt. That was one of our goals going into the game was to start fast. Definitely did that. just need to maintain that level of intensity, that level of execution.
You know, it was a back-and-forth game. You took a 21-17 lead into the locker room and got the second half started on a great play. Tyrone Tracy, I still don't know how he stayed in bounds on the sideline, but he did. So you're up 28-17, and I thought maybe the key part of the game, you made a stop, got the ball back, and you're driving in their territory. You feel like you get maybe one more score.
Yeah.
You're going to really put them on their heels the rest of the day.
Yeah, I think, lessons learned, right? Anytime you get in a game like that with a program that has a tradition of winning, they were a conference champion a year ago. We're on a 9-game winning streak, and with a coach and a staff that is as well-versed in ball and as successful as they come in this profession, you can't give them glimmers of hope, and you can't allow them to stay in the game. And so I think some of the lessons that we learned on last Saturday were, we have to play disciplined football. When you're up, you got to play disciplined football when you're down. So when you're disciplined when you're up, that extends the lead and gives you a chance to win a game. And when you're down and you're disciplined, it gives you a chance to get back in it. And they definitely were disciplined down the stretch, which was why they were in the game, and it ultimately ended up winning.
Sometimes in athletics, fans and media tend to think only in terms of one team. And the fact is, Fresno State also gives out scholarships. I thought their quarterback was outstanding on Saturday.
Yeah, he played really well. He extended some drives, made some really tough throws. We got a bunch of hits on him, and he stayed in the game and was able to make plays down the stretch to give them the opportunity to win.
They take the lead in the fourth quarter, but I thought your team came up with a big play defensively. We talk in games like that, players have to make big plays, and Dylan Thieneman showed why he's got such promise back there in the secondary. That was unbelievable closing speed, first of all, to get to the ball, but to keep his foot down in the sideline before he went out of bounds was amazing.
Yeah, no doubt. It's funny because you see him do stuff like that in practice all the time. So I was teasing him, on Tuesday's practice. I said, man, you're on pace to get 120 tackles and 12 interceptions. So
no pressure.
Keep it up, for the young buck.
There was a lot of we heard questions up in the box from some people that hadn't seen your defense before. The fact that he lines up so far away from the line of scrimmage, and we've talked about this before, that is part of your defensive package.
Absolutely, that is the standard of his position, and that's why that position itself has led or tied the country in interceptions the last 2 years, and I'd be shocked if it doesn't continue that way. You put him right there with the scheme and what we're doing in front of him that allows him to have 10 tackles and an interception.
Fresno State gets the touchdown in their last possession, and you unable to convert on a fourth down. Talk about the locker room afterward. I'm sure it was disappointed, but a reminder that's only one of 12 games.
Absolutely, and that was my message. I knew there were going to be lessons that we needed to learn. Obviously, you've got a brand new staff, you got new faces in the locker room. Everything is different, and so as much as you try to preach and foreshadow things that we need to pay attention to, sometimes you got to go through those adverse moments to learn. And to be honest, if we would have played the way we did and won the game, I don't know if we would have learned the things that we need to learn as much as we need to learn them to do what we want to do down the stretch. And so my message in the locker room was, one game does not define us. We didn't play clean enough down the stretch to win that game, to earn the right to win that game. And that I'm still fully confident and expect this team to be a great team. And all of our goals and aspirations are still ahead of us. So it's all about how do you respond. And, I was really pleased with this week's practice. Obviously we still have Thursday to fine-tune some things. But the attitude and the demeanor on Sunday was awesome. Practice on Tuesday was, people were still chippy. Still upset, but the effort and the attention to detail was at a premium, and so that tells me that they're thinking about things the right way. I was pissed off too on Tuesday, but I've never been more locked in. The staff has never been more locked in, and we executed well this week in practice.
All right, we need to take a quick break. We'll be right back. This is the Ryan Walters Show, presented by the Rohrman Auromorive Group on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
Calling is coaching these Fresno State Bulldogs.
Second down, here's Gill, and that was read well. Blown up by Markevius Brown. Keene hit and sacked back at the 5-yard line. Kadrian Jenkins with the sack, his 10th career sack, and his 4th down, a loss of 8.
Someone to keep an eye on. There's Kadrian Jenkins working on the right side of the offensive line and right in Mikey Keene's.
Williams come up with some big 3rd down conversions that time of the passing game. As Keene dances around, but he can dance no more. He is sacked. From the Boilermaker 43-yard line, Gilliam. And he is spun down. Pretty much no gain on the play. So Brooks back to receive this Ansel punt. Good boot. And Brooks, oh, is he hit by Thieneman. The 2nd fastest guy on the team. Boy, he got downfield, and Dylan Thieneman laid a hit on Eric Brooks inside the 20. Snapper with 3 on the play clock. Gilliam, right side, not happening. Fresno State on 3rd down.
There's Brooks in the slot on the hash down to the bottom of your screen.
Keene floats it, looking for Delano, dangerously thrown, and that is picked off by Thieneman.
As the defender was out of bounds. 4th down.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Look at the right cleat, though, as Thieneman's coming down.
Hello, Purdue fans. This is Johnny DeGrand.
Welcoming you to Ross-Ade Stadium.
From Ross-Ade Stadium.
It's a football Saturday in West Lafayette.
What a night at West Lafayette.
His purpose, his calling is coaching these Fresno State Bulldogs.
The Rohrman Auromorive Group is supporting your Boilermakers as the presenting sponsor of the Ryan Walter Show and proud partner of Purdue Athletics. Rohrman Auromorive Group, boiler up and hammered down. Let's go to the Facebook comments and see what we've got. Josh, who I believe is might be Mock's uncle, wants to know if your I formation package is installed yet. I think he wants to get number 45 touches out of the I formation. I don't know if that's in the air raid package.
Yeah, I can't give out scheme deals. That would be bad.
Hello from Northville, Michigan, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Noah has a question, and I think this is probably, if you look at stats from the game on Saturday, the biggest stat, 3rd down conversions.
Yep.
They were 11 of 17. I think you were 2 of 12.
Yep.
That means they control the ball, and that means less chances for your offense.
Absolutely. To me, that stat told the story. It is hard to get a team to 17 3rd downs defensively, so you know you're playing well on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to get off the field, and a lot of that is trust in the technique and the fundamentals that you've been working on all fall camp. Part of it is knowing where your help is and where it's not, and what routes you can't give up and what routes you can be aggressive on. And part of it is rush lanes and making sure that the quarterback stays in the pocket, because a lot of times he scrambled out and was able to extend plays, and so we got to be better on 3rd down in that aspect defensively. And then offensively, got to give HUD a chance to step in there and deliver a strike. Got to come up with some creative ways. Obviously, the big problem was 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1. I think we had 4 of those opportunities that we didn't get, and that is an issue. And so we've talked about it as a staff and have come up with ways to improve our short yardage package, and we'll continue to get better week in and week out. And like I've said from the beginning, this team will continue to improve as the season goes.
Yeah, I think James from Cary, Illinois, was wondering about those problems down by the goal line. And you tried a little bit of everything. You tried going straight up the middle. You tried around the end. Mm-hmm. You tried throwing the ball, and it took quite a few times to get into the end zone.
It did. I think that surprised us a little bit. I don't know if we knew that it was going to be that difficult to get a yard down there. And so, lesson learned, and we will be better.
Tom, looking in from Charlotte, North Carolina. Drew from Raleigh, North Carolina. We've talked about some of the things that didn't go well, but what were some of the things you were most encouraged about from the game on Saturday?
Yeah, like you said, we started fast, and when we were assignment sound, it looked like it's supposed to look. We looked explosive offensively, played with pace, played with tempo. We're able to run and throw it. Hudson delivered some really good balls. Our receivers ran good routes and caught the ball well. Defensively, it was 3 and out or they were scoring points. You know what I mean? And so when it looked right, we were 3 and out, and when it didn't, it wasn't. And so we gotta continue to shore that up. I thought special teams we played really well, minus the 2 penalties. And speaking of penalties, we had 4 on the day, and 2 of them were on special teams.
Right.
And so you are playing discipline in that aspect, and now we just got to be more assignment sound and detail-oriented schematically. Yeah,
I think the fact that you only had 4 penalties on opening day and didn't turn the ball over, those are sometimes big problems in game 1.
No doubt. We had the 1 ball security issue, and when on the fumble, but we were able to recover it, and we were able to take the ball away in a crucial moment of the game on defense.
Checking in from Swamico, Wisconsin, Cary, Illinois, and Zionsville. We'll get a few more as we go along the way. We're going to have Deion Burks on a little bit later on in the show, but one of the things that you want out of this offense is to get some explosive plays. He showed early on, but he also made a big play on your touchdown drive in the 4th quarter that gave you the lead. And, he's a guy that he's got the speed, and we saw he's got a little bit of power too. Absolutely.
Pound for pound, he's probably the strongest guy we got on the team. And he has put in the work. Like you saw what you saw from him on Saturday and that type of performance, because he has sacrificed a lot. He's strict with his diet. He's living right off the field, and it shows. And so, you put in what I love about football as it pertains to sort of life lessons, what you pour into it, you're going to get out. And so he has poured into his craft, and he is seeing the benefits of his work through his production.
All right, we need another break. We'll be back in 2 minutes at the Ryan Walters Show, presented by Rohrman Auromorive Group on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
Sheffield in motion. Card time. Over the middle. Caught. Deion Burks. He can fly. Burks keeps his feet. Burks has speed. He is gone. Touchdown. Purdue. 84 yards. From his head coach, he said he's an action figure. He's a freak. Popped off once, twice. The fastest guy on the team. No chance. 84 yards. And the Boilermakers strike first. Keene hit and Sept back at the 5-yard line. On 2nd down, Card time, end zone, caught, touchdown. It's Burks once again. That will get the ball first to begin the 2nd half. Sheffield. This is Tracy, beg your pardon. Tracy, he tightropes that sideline. Tyrone Tracy Jr. 5, end zone, touchdown Purdue. No flags.
It's in the slot, on the hash, down to the bottom of your screen.
King floats it, looking for Delano, dangerously thrown, and that is picked off by Thieneman.
As the defender was out of bounds. 4th down.
2 timeouts left, down 4. Carr taking a shot downfield, and that is caught in stride by Burks. Can't get a first down at the 1. It's Maccabee, cuts, scores, touchdown Purdue. Sheffield in motion, Card time, over the middle, caught.
And Hokies coming at you Saturday at noon in Lane Stadium. I was looking at the weather forecast. The good news is the temperature is only supposed to be in the 70s, so it's not going to be a warm day. The bad news is there's like an 80% chance of thunderstorms during the day. Hopefully they'll wait until the night. Wondered if you've ever been involved in a game before that involved a weather delay.
I did. When I was a player, we had a tornado delay when I was at Colorado playing against the Iowa State Cyclones. So how about that? Had a tornado delay in Cyclone country.
Not surprising. How did you manage the time? Because we've had a couple of those delays here in the last few years.
Yeah, for us, it was a road game, obviously, and we kind of just hung out in the locker room. We couldn't go anywhere else because of the tornado. You try to stay loose and kind of let your mind kind of go for a little bit, and then when you get the call to go back out there, you try to refocus and get warmed up.
And the hardest part on those weather delays, not only getting the body cooled down and warmed up again, you don't know how long they're going to last. I mean,
Right.
you know, especially when you're talking about lightning, every time the lightning strikes, you got to reset the clock, and it could be an hour, it could be 3 hours.
Right. Yeah, it's just something you got to deal with, you know.
Yeah. You had to deal with some decisions in your first day, and the one that I really give you credit for, because it took a lot of courage to do. You're 4th and 1 at your own 24-yard line, and you go for it. Any hesitation there?
No, there wasn't. You know, we do a lot of studying on the point differential in the game, where you're at on the field, you know, what the down and distance is, and so before the drive even starts, or in the middle of the drive, I'm always talking with Coach Harrell on, like, hey, if we get to this down and distance, we'll go for it, you know. And so that could be 4th and 1, it could be 4th and 5, depending on where you're at on the field and how things are going. So it wasn't a difficult decision because it was already pre-made.
You mentioned looking at numbers. How much do you rely on analytics? And coaches these days you have all this information that you have, but you also have your gut, which is a big part of coaching. What's your balance?
Yeah, so we obviously use analytics, but what's funny is usually my gut is the same thing that the analyst is saying. So we want to be aggressive in all 3 phases of the game. I tend to lean more on the aggressive side, and so that's why we went for it on 4th down when we did.
There's so much attention paid at the quarterback position on every team. As you look back at the film and saw what Hudson did well and what he did poorly, how would you rate his performance in week 1?
Yeah, I thought he played well. You know, he threw the ball accurately. I thought there might have been a couple times where he could have pulled it down and ran. You know, he's an athletic guy. And, you know, this is like his first time taking control of a team. And so he'll continue to get better as well. He made a couple splash plays that we've been seeing. We also got to give him more time. We got to protect him and let him do his thing.
You know, I think a lot of fans and even media people have to remember that the game on Saturday is going to be his 7th start. I mean, this is not a guy that's played a lot of college football.
Right, and so, you know, every game he'll get better as well, and this team as well. Like I keep saying it, like I've seen what they're capable of in practice. You saw glimpses of it, you know, in stretches during the game on Saturday. We just got to put it together for 4 quarters.
You tried to roll in a lot of players on Saturday because of the heat. Were you satisfied with the depth that you had around the field?
Yeah, I thought we actually could have rotated even more at certain positions. That was something that we talked about as a staff on Sunday. We got a lot of capable guys in the locker room, and you know, got to give them opportunities to play. Obviously, with the 3rd downs the way they were and the time of possession the way it was, you know, kind of limited the amount of opportunities on offense to get guys rotated. But I definitely think you'll see more faces in the game on Saturday.
And just to remind people, the way the rule is written now, they can play in 4 games, right, at any time during the season and still maintain a redshirt season if they need it.
Absolutely.
All right. We're going to talk with Deion Burks. Actually, no, we're going to talk with Isaiah Nichols when we come back because he won the rock, paper, scissors contest a little earlier. It is the Ryan Walters Show, and we're live at Walk-Ons in the Purdue Memorial Union. Everyone needs a little more playing time. We'll be back after this on the Purdue Global Sports Network.
By the great Mark Herman. Mark, thank you so much for finding some time for us to discuss the 79 Notre Dame game. I know you had a lot of memorable games in your career. I'm sure this one sticks out as much as any.
Yeah, no question. Whenever you play Notre Dame, it's a big game, and there was a tremendous crowd, as I remember. And, you know, Coach Young always wanted to be able to run the football, and you know, we used a split back attack. We didn't use the typical I formation, so we got some sweeps outside and then some off tackle, and I think both those guys run so hard. And I credit the offensive line for coming off the football. We didn't need to throw it that much. We were efficient, and I think I hit Dave Young with the touchdown, and then ultimately finding Bart for the kind of the score that gave us a little room. So, you know, those are the kinds of wins that keeps the memories going, and because I was close to going there, and I wanted to, you know, make sure that I could at least get one win out of that series. Yeah. So that was good.
Sheffield in motion. Card time. Over the middle. Caught. Deion Burks. He can fly. Burks keeps his feet. Burks has speed. He is gone. Touchdown. Purdue. 84 yards. From his head coach, he said, he's an action figure. He's a freak. Popped off once, twice. The fastest guy on the team. No chance. 84 yards. And the Boilermakers strike first. 3rd and goal. Tracy cuts back. Tracy dives forward. Touchdown, Purdue.
So here's a good look at it, right? You see, there's Devo Bridges right on Tracy, and he got his legs caught up a little bit. Otherwise, he might.
On 2nd down, card time, end zone, caught, touchdown. It's Burks once again. Sheffield. This is Tracy, beg your pardon. Tracy, he tight ropes that sideline. Tyrone Tracy Jr. 5, end zone, touchdown Purdue. Can't get a first down at the 1. It's Maccabee, cuts, scores, touchdown Purdue. The celebration then. Now on scholarship.
We are joined now by the great Mark.
Thanking recognized members of the Black and Gold Club who support Purdue athletics through their sponsorship at the highest level. Black and Gold members include Indiana Packers, Molson Coors, Purdue Federal Credit Union, Purdue Global, Rohrman Auromorive Group, and Wabash. Each are great partners of Purdue athletics. We are joined by Isaiah Nichols. He is a graduate student here, an defensive lineman from Springdale, Arkansas. Let's talk first about your career with the Razorbacks. You're a native Arkansan. The syllable was somewhere in there.
Yeah.
23 starts at Arkansas. Pretty good career. What made you decide to play somewhere else for your final season?
Obviously, Arkansas was home to me, and it was a dream for me to play there growing up. But just as I got older, I just felt like there was, something more that I could do, and with all the rule changes in the portal and everything, how everything goes. So I just thought it'd be a good opportunity, a good time for me to go somewhere else and see what else I could learn and what different defenses I could fit in and what the best fit for me would be to get to the next level.
So as you were looking at different schools, what was it about Purdue that stood out to you?
It actually happened really fast. And I will admit I didn't know much about the program before.
Did you know where it was?
No, I did not.
It's okay.
But I do now. But, so obviously, Coach Carter, the corners coach, he coached to Arkansas. And so, I was recruited by Coach Haley and a few of the other coaches out of high school. So just coming here, it just the timing of how it happened and the people who I knew I would be involved with, it just made sense. And it happened at a time where I wasn't really sure where I would go. And, I was praying about it, and it just so happened, they called me, and, the rest is history. I've been here.
And you're here. We're glad you're here. Running through the tunnel, Tiller Tunnel for the first time, what was that like on Saturday?
It was nice, and we had a mock game in the stadium the week before, and I remember just going out there and just soaking it all in. I like to, every time I'm in a game day, whether it's home or away, I like to walk goalpost to goalpost and then just look around, get a feel for the stadium. And it just really felt like a full circle moment, in that mock game, just walking through there. And then on game day, just running through the tunnel, it just felt like home.
Lane Stadium is purported to be a very difficult place to play. It'll be the first time I've been there, first time you've been there, but you've played in some pretty hostile environments playing in the Southeastern Conference. I don't think you'll be too intimidated on Saturday.
No, I've been fortunate enough to play in some, like you said, some very hostile environments. I am excited to see how the energy, and I've heard a lot about it. But yeah, it's another game, and I'm ready to go and eliminate all distractions.
Now, did they tell you, Isaiah, it gets a little colder here as the season goes on, right? You did know that, right?
That's
what I've heard. A lot of guys from down south are out that way, not quite sure they got the right clothes when they come out here.
No, that's what I've heard, and I heard the wind is what it is. It really gets you.
Yeah, it's a little tough.
Yeah.
But you know you'll toughen up a little bit.
Yeah, I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Talk about your coach. You mentioned Coach Haley. What's he like, and what kinds of things does he really emphasize in practice?
I think he's a very good coach. He's really he emphasizes details, and even when you think you're being detailed, you're not detailed enough. And not saying that in a negative way, just he pushes us to be the best us we possibly can be. Whether it's, your steps not too big and not big enough or your steps too big, or, just hand placement, eyes. Like, I think since I've been here, it's been great to be coached by him, just so I can see. He really helps you believe that you can be the player that you can be, and then just to work and progress every day and work at your craft and see the results. I think he's just kind of made me be a better player than I've ever been so far.
There's a lot more player movement at the collegiate level than there used to be. How do you acclimate yourself when you come in and play one season to try to make sure that you're bonding both on and off the field and fully integrated into what we're trying to do here?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest, obviously the team has to, welcome you in. I think the biggest part of me coming here was the team, welcome me with open arms. And then the way I went about it to come here was just to add on to the team. I wasn't coming here to, walk around and say I'm better than anybody or they brought me here to take your job. It was just I wanted to come here and give to the game and give to the rest of the guys on the team what I feel like I could give. And, they bring that in return. And we've, especially with the D-line, we've formed a bond. And a lot of these guys are guys I would consider to be brothers for life.
He is an Arkansan, and we're glad he's here, and look forward to calling your name a lot more on this Saturday. Isaiah,
Most
good
definitely.
luck against the Hokies this week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, we're going to talk to Deion Burks when we come back. It is the Ryan Walters Show, presented by the Rohrman Auromorive Group on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
Calling is coaching these Fresno State Bulldogs.
Second down, here's Gill, and that was read well. Blown up by Markevius Brown. King hit and Sept back at the 5-yard line. Kadron Jenkins with the sack, his 10th career sack, and his 4th down, a loss of 8.
Someone to keep an eye on. There's Kadron Jenkins working on the right side of the offensive line and right in Mikey Keene's.
Williams come up with some big 3rd down conversions that time of the passing game. As Keene dances around, but he can dance no more. He is sacked. From the Boilermaker 43-yard line, Gilliam. And he is spun down. Pretty much no gain on the play.
Gilliam.
So Brooks back to receive this Ansel punt. Good boot. And Brooks, is he hit by Thieneman. The second fastest guy on the team. Boy, he got downfield, and Dylan Thieneman laid a hit on Eric Brooks. Inside the 20. Snapper with 3 on the play clock. Gilliam, right side, not happening. Fresno State on 3rd down.
There's Brooks in the slot on the hash down to the bottom of your screen.
King floats it, looking for Delano, dangerously thrown, and that is picked off by Thieneman.
As the defender was out of bounds. 4th down.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Look at the right cleat, though, as Thieneman's coming down.
Hello, Purdue fans. This is Johnny DeGrant.
Welcoming you to Ross-Ade Stadium.
From Ross-Ade. It's a football Saturday in West Lafayette. What a night in West Lafayette.
His purpose, his calling is coaching these Fresno.
The Ryan Walters Show. We're live at Walk-Ons in the Purdue Memorial Union, where it's always game day with a taste of Louisiana. It's time for our Pro Boilers feature, where we look at how former Purdue student athletes are doing in their professional sports careers. Pro Boilers is presented by Indiana Kitchen Premium Pork Products. Get to know us at indianakitchen.com. Both our Pro Boilers and Indiana Kitchen are boiler made. The NFL season officially begins tomorrow, and right now we have 12 active Purdue players on NFL rosters. Rondale Moore in Arizona, Marcus Bailey and Charlie Jones in Cincinnati, David Bell in Cleveland, Derek Barnes in Detroit, George Karlaftis in Kansas City, Bryson Hopkins with the LA Rams, Aiden O'Connell in Vegas, Raheem Mostert with Miami, Jalen Graham at San Francisco, Juwan Bentley at New England, and Payne Durham at Tampa Bay. Corey Trice is with the Steelers, but he is on injured reserve. He injured a knee, and he's out for the season. And we have 4 players right now on practice squads. David Blau is back in Detroit. Anthony Brown and Xander Horvath are both with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Jordan Roos is with Tennessee. So we wish them well as the 2023 NFL season gets ready to get underway. A guy that would like to be playing on Sundays sitting next to us, Deion Burks. He's a sophomore from Belleville, Michigan. Deion, sensational start to your season, and boy, you got the crowd pretty electrified. And I think what was more impressive to me, we know you're fast, but you bounced off a couple of guys pretty well. Squatting, 485 pounds? Is that what I read?
Yes.
Is that something that's come now? I mean, how much have you really had to work on the strength part of this?
Having a strength coach like Coach Rowe is not really that hard, honestly. I'm going to tell you that because he's going to push you to your limits every time. Just Coach Rowe is just, everybody know that, like we say, built by Coach Rowe because he's going to put it to you and he's going to help the team.
You know, Coach Walters has talked a lot about Coach Rowe in the last couple of weeks, and it seems like he's made a big difference here early on.
Yes, he definitely did. He came in and made an immediate impact, and he came and definitely took this program to up.
I want to take you back to the bowl game. You gave everybody a scare. You suffered a neck injury in that game. Talk about what happened there and how the recovery was and when you felt like you were Deion Burks again.
I was in the slot. I had an inside fade route, tried to get up on the DB toes. Ball took me outwards, and ball was a little bit behind me. I tried to catch it, and the momentum ended up taking me back, hit the back of my head. Defender fell on me, and from there, I really didn't remember too much, but I just remember the process, just coming back, trying to just get back into my roots and trying to get better. But around springtime, I would say that's when I got back feeling like I was 100%.
New coaching staff, you've got Corey Patterson as your wide receivers coach. Talk about what he brings to the field and what he expects out of you every week.
Yeah, Corey's Coach CP, that's why I call him.
There you go.
He brings some energy to the team, and that he's definitely like the motivation, and he's going to push you to your limits. He's going to come to you if you mess up. He's going to give you the same energy. If you do good, he's going to give you the same energy. So I'll just say he just brings a great energy, and that's it.
Looking at your bio, they tell me that you've added 15 pounds of muscle from last year. Where is it? Is it well distributed, or was there a particular area that you really focused on?
I say well distributed. I'm not gonna lie. There was a lot of weight I put on, but I feel like
good weight.
Good weight. I got more explosive and more faster. So.
Better to have Coach Rowe than the Pillsbury Doughboy be your trainer. Talk about this offense, the air raid offense. We know that it's a wide open thing, and it looks like you're going to flourish in this offense right now. What do you like the most about it?
I just like all the Graham Harrell got a great offense, but I just like that I'm not really thinking as much as my routes. I could run a route, and I'm not really thinking like I got to get to this certain depth. I could take my time, and I can know my reads. So it's like I'm the fourth read. I know I can take my time and within I had to do.
The one thing it looks like, too, is the ball's going to get spread around. And not that there was anything wrong with David Bell and Rondale Moore and Charlie Jones making a lot of catches, but now you know that everybody can get the ball in any given play.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody can get the ball. It's an open offense, so everybody's running to win. So I know I got the receivers, 3 other receivers trying to win, and I'm trying to win as well myself.
I talked to Isaiah about coming through the tunnel. You've been at Ross-Ade Stadium without the tunnel and now with it. What was that experience like on Saturday?
It was a crazy experience. The emotions was running in me. I'm coming out the tunnel. I just started looking up, and I see all the fans, and that just made me more happy and more confident.
You know you're going to go into a hostile environment on Saturday. It's one of the toughest places we hear to play college football, but you've been in some hostile situations before. Do you get more fired up when you hear that crowd cheering against you? How do you take the crowd out of the game personally?
I honestly use the crowd to fire me up too as well. Like I know coming out, they got a great crowd, and I'm gonna use that as fire for me and energy to me to just to make them go quiet.
Talk about your goals for the season. You don't have to talk about specific goals, but what would you like to get better at from, let's say, a season ago? What do you really need to work on?
Me personally, I just want to be a student in the game more. I want to just learn defenses quick. Like I'm getting defenses, but I just want to learn them quick. And most importantly, as a team goal, I want to win the championship.
I was pretty impressed. You and Isaiah went through rock, paper, scissors to see who was going to come first. I think it took round 8 or 9. You guys are pretty synced up in this.
Yeah.
Do you have a rock, scissors, paper, scissors champion on the team? Is there a guy that nobody wants to play against?
Paper, scissors champion? No, I honestly would say myself, honestly. We had a day we was going, and I was winning against everybody, but Isaiah got a great mind game. So.
Well, he's a grad student.
Yeah,
he's been around a little bit. Well, Deion, congratulations on a great start to the season, and we look forward to calling a lot more touchdowns this year.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right. When we come back, we'll have the head coach back. It is the Ryan Walters Show, presented by the Rohrman Auromorive Group on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
Sheffield in motion. Card time. Over the middle. Caught. Deion Burks. He can fly. Burks keeps his feet. Burks has speed. He is gone. Touchdown. Purdue. 84 yards. From his head coach, he said, he's an action figure. He's a freak. Popped off once, twice. The fastest guy on the team. No chance. 84 yards. And the Boilermakers strike first. Keene. Hit and sacked. Back at the 5-yard line. On second down, Card time, end zone, caught, touchdown. It's Burks once again. That will get the ball first to begin the second half. Sheffield. This is Tracy, beg your pardon. Tracy, he tightropes that sideline. Tyrone Tracy Jr. 5, end zone, touchdown Purdue. No flags.
It's in the slot on the hash down to the bottom of your screen.
Keene floats it, looking for Delano, dangerously thrown, and that is picked off by Thieneman.
As the defender was out of bounds. Fourth down.
2 timeouts left, down 4. Card taking a shot downfield, and that is caught in stride by Burks. Can't get a first down at the 1. It's Maccabee, cuts, scores, touchdown Purdue.
The 2023 Purdue football season is presented by Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. Earn a degree you're proud of and employers respect. Start your comeback today at purdueglobal.edu. While I scroll through the Facebook comments, I'm just amazed every week now. Ryan, we have the players come on and talk about Coach Rowe, Coach Rowe, Coach Rowe. That was you talk about your biggest recruits coming in. That was one of the guys you really wanted to get here.
Absolutely. Just, the tree he's from, the attention to detail with which he pays, the attitude and the confidence and the leadership that he instills. And he's football oriented. A lot of strength coaches want you to get bigger, faster, stronger, just to get bigger, faster, stronger. But everything he does is with football in mind and how you can become a better football player by being more athletic.
Let me try and catch up a little bit on Facebook. We haven't gone there for a while. Let's see. Zionsville checking in, San Francisco, DeMott, Austin, Texas, Syracuse, Marion University, Hillsdale, Michigan, Wake Forest. One of the questions we got here, Brian Burns, who is former Learfield employee, and now working for the Vegas Golden Knights. His first week in Vegas, he got to go to the Stanley Cup Finals and then lift the Stanley Cup. So that's a pretty good way to start. Wants to know your favorite part of working at Purdue so far, other than coaching the football team. What have you really enjoyed about your time here?
The community and the support that the community has for the university. It's aesthetically very, very nice, and also the people here, it definitely feels like a family, and I appreciate that because I'm a family-oriented guy, and it feels like home.
Wake Forest checking in. Also, Jim from in here in Walk-Ons, where he assures us that the beer is cold. So we appreciate that, Jim, and we're looking forward to finding out here in a few minutes. Let's talk a little bit about Virginia Tech. The Hokies coming off a 3-8 season last year. Brent Pry in his second year. They won their opening game against Old Dominion and trying to resurrect a program that had great success for many years under Frank Beamer.
Yeah, you definitely see improvement from a year ago. They had lost to Old Dominion last season and then, obviously won last week. They got a quarterback who's got another year under his belt and understands the system and is more athletic than you think he is. They're big up front. They're on defense. They're really long, athletic, and so it'll be a challenge and it'll be a good game.
As many programs do, including Purdue, they have a transfer at quarterback from Marshall, and I thought he played fairly well the first game.
Yeah, he definitely did. Like I said, he's a lot more athletic than people kind of give him credit for. It seems like he knows where to go with the football, and so, like I said, it'll be a challenge.
You have been trying to prepare your team for this challenge all week long, and I think they're already talking about being tired of hearing Enter Sandman, the Metallica classic that is played the entrance when they come in, and I'm sure it's going to be loud and raucous, and hopefully that'll get the juices flowing on the visiting sideline on Saturday.
Absolutely. They'll be numb to that song, I promise you. It's played, every team meeting and all day at practice. But looking forward to an electric atmosphere. That's one of the more storied entrances in college football, and if you're a fan of football, you know all about that place, and it'll be a good experience.
Tell me about the general road trip. When we fly out, we get in. What do you do between then and game time? What do you like to do on a road trip?
We'll fly in. We'll go to the hotel. We'll have dinner. We'll have position meetings, we'll have special teams meeting, I'll have a team meeting, we'll have snack, then we'll go to bed and wake up, hit a walkthrough, hit a hit film, and head to the stadium.
Get a win, get home.
Absolutely.
That's a plan. All right, we're going to have the final segment of the Ryan Walter Show presented by the Rohrman Auromorive Group coming up on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
Calling is coaching these Fresno State Bulldogs.
Second down, here's Gill, and that was read well. Blown up by Markevius Brown. Keene hit and sacked back at the 5-yard line. Kadron Jenkins with the sack, his 10th career sack, and his 4th down, a loss of 8.
Someone to keep an eye on. There's Kadron Jenkins working on the right side of the offensive line, and right in Mikey Keene's.
Williams come up with some big 3rd down conversions that time of the passing game. As Keene dances around, but he can dance no more. He is sacked. From the Boilermaker 43-yard line, Gilliam. And he is spun down. Pretty much no gain on the play. Gilliam. So Brooks back to receive this Ansel punt. Good boot. And Brooks, is he hit by Thieneman. The second fastest guy on the team. Boy, he got downfield, and Dylan Thieneman laid a hit on Eric Brooks inside the 20. Snapper with 3 on the play clock. Gilliam, right side, not happening. Fresno State on 3rd down.
There's Brooks in the slot on the hash down to the bottom of your screen.
Keene floats it, looking for Delano, dangerously thrown, and that is picked up by Thieneman.
As the defender was out of bounds. 4th down.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Look at the right cleat, though, as Thieneman's coming down.
Hello, Purdue fans. This is Johnny DeGrant.
Welcoming you to Ross-Ade Stadium.
From Ross-Ade, it's a football Saturday in West Lafayette. What a night in West Lafayette.
Purpose
Group is supporting your Boilermakers as the presenting sponsor of the Ryan Walter Show and proud partner of Purdue Athletics. Rohrman Auromorive Group, boiler up and hammer down. Purdue and Virginia Tech coming up on Saturday. We've talked about a lot of the position players, and we had Kadron Jenkins on the show last week, and he said he had a little non-official bet with his running mate on the other side, Nick Scorton, about the first sack, and Kadron got it. And I thought he was very active on Saturday.
He was. It just kind of shows you how explosive he can be, how he can get after the quarterback. I thought he played a really good game, and we're looking forward to him continuing to improve this season.
You're looking to roll and get some depth. You said you'd like to play some more players. You got a couple more games before you get into the conference portion of the schedule. Does that change at all what your rotation will be? A lot of times basketball coaches will use non-conference games to try to set their rotation. Is it the same with you in football, or how do you try to do that?
With the amount of games that we have in football, like you're just trying to win every game. Yeah. And so obviously, dictated on injuries, on who's performing well at practice. But the rotation is set on who deserves to be out there to go play.
You know, it used to be back in the old days, Ryan, that coaches would really try to preserve red shirts when possible and not use up eligibility. I wonder now with, I wouldn't say total free agency, but we got players moving around a lot. Does that less of a factor now? You got to play the guys while they're here, while you have them.
Yeah, it's my philosophy. You know, we're going to play everybody that's going to give us a chance to win a ball game. You know, whether or not you're a freshman, it doesn't really matter. You know, to preserve a red shirt, you know, if you can help us win, you're going to play. And so that's the stance that we're taking.
It was good to see Tyrone Tracy hit the end zone a couple of times, both on a kick return and on a short yardage situation. You know, you go back to that 1-yard run, he made a really good move to get into the end zone after he'd had such a hard time down there.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he's a good player, and we got to, you know, try to get him the ball more, in my opinion. And so he's had a really good week of practice, and you know, I thought Saturday was a glimpse of what he's capable of doing.
It seems like sometimes when you get an injury at a particular position, it rains and then it starts to pour. And, you know, you had Gus Hartwig out, you had Josh Kaltenberger out. I just wonder what was going through your mind when you saw Austin Johnson on the seat of his pants out there in the middle of the field.
You know, all that was going through my mind was like, all right, who do we got next?
Yeah.
And, you know, what can we do to try to help and move the football. You know, luckily Austin was able to come back. You know, we should get Josh back, and eventually we should get Gus back. So, you know, feel good. And again, like I've been saying, we're going to get better as the season goes, I promise.
All right, just a few seconds left. Give us some keys. What do you need to do to get the win against the Hokies this Saturday?
You know, I think first and foremost we got to play with confident, selfless execution. I think that we also need to win a turnover battle, especially on the road in a hostile environment. And then we got to get off the field on third downs. We've got to keep the chains moving on offense on third downs.
The best thing you can see on the road is people filing out of the stadium in the third and fourth quarter. It'd be nice to see if we can delete a little bit of that traffic after the game. But again, the Hokies will be ready to go, so it should be a great contest.
No doubt. We got to, you know, we're preparing for a 4-quarter or more game. You know, just the trend in college football is that way. There's a lot of similar like teams, and so we got to be ready to go.
We'll see you on Saturday. Good luck against Virginia Tech.
Thank you so much.
All right, we want to thank our engineer, Wes Scott. Our producer tonight is Ethan Sargent. Corey Palm Incorporated working on our video, so we appreciate their help tonight. Again, the Boilermakers and the Virginia Tech Hokies coming up on Saturday. We'll have the pregame show starting at 11 with kickoff at noon. For the head coach, for Isaiah, and for Dion, this is Tim Newton. This has been the Ryan Walters Show on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.